Oh, we've seen, well, James saw a seal today. James, does it still feel like boiling hot to you? Does it still feel hot? It does to me too. I was worried Ian wasn't in, so I was going to run back like quicker than ever to go and find him, but Lizzie's just texted he's there. Thank goodness for that. Right, see you later. Hello, I'm back in the office again. I'm allergic to something today. Something's got up my nose and making me sneeze. And when this happened, because this happened last year as well, around the same time, and everybody was like, oh, it's the kitten, it's the kitten. And I knew it weren't the kitten. It's just this time of year, there's something about, I don't know what it is. I'm doing some teddy bear making today and a little bit of bag making. Let me show you. I've got this lovely fabric that I've had for a little while and I've never used it. And I'm gonna, look, it's this. It's got this little girl and little dog on it. I'm gonna make some bags with that. I think maybe some frilly ones. I think that'd be quite nice. And I'm gonna make some little bears in. I've got some of this left over from when I was making my pumpkin bags. I'm going to make some bears in autumn dresses. I might do that first actually before I start on the bags. Did you hear that? That'll be Doug. Hang on. Yes, it was him. He was in the road. What I was going to say is I'm going to do the bears first and then the bags, because I'll be able to sit in the living room, keep an eye on him whilst I make them. He spent all day yesterday in the house and all night, and he had a lovely time, but he's gone back out today. He's obsessed with the lady's house opposite, who has been feeding him. So, but she hasn't done it again, and I don't think she will. Dear me. Never mind. Right, I'm going to get on with this, and hopefully when James comes home today, we'll do the questions. Right, see you later. It's the 14th. I stopped filming yesterday, but I'll explain why a bit later. I've got the Paulines on. There's a very nice sunrise, and I'll stop when we get a bit of a better view so that I can show you. Right, on we go. There we are. Look, the sun's coming up. Looks like the Sahara Desert. James, give us a wave. Woohoo! Woohoo! I'm back. So you know I was allergic to something yesterday. I took an antihistamine and it completely wiped me out. I could hardly keep my eyes open for the whole day. I still feel a bit groggy today. What a wimp. I've got some non-drowsy ones, but I've got some that, can you tell, I still feel... Look. I've got some non-drowsy ones, but I must have taken the non-drowsy ones. And then Doug, who's over there, he went missing for hours. I think, well, we found him, James found him just before we went to bed. And I don't like filming stuff like that. Oh, so yesterday was a bit of a write-off, yeah. So we'll try again today. So I'm going to stick yesterday's 2 bits to today's. I've already been for a run. He's all over me like a bad rash. I'll go and get him. Hang on. There he is. Yeah. I think it's getting colder. He's been just stood and staring at me all morning. So, and he's been on my lap asleep with all the other animals. I think he started to feel the coldness. He's a lovely old boy. Right, I'm going to get on. I didn't even finish those teddy bears I started. Well, I wouldn't finish them, but I didn't get very far with them. But I'm going to save them for this afternoon. And this morning I think I'm going to make some little pouches and bags and things like that. We'll just see what happens. I've got a lovely, look, loads of Liberty fabric here. And I've got this piece as well that I really like. So let's just see what happens, shall we? I'm on my third coffee because I'm so tired. I haven't changed my mugs round yet. I normally swap them round at the start of September. But it didn't feel right doing it in 30-degree heat, so I'll wait a couple of weeks. Well, let's see what the weekend brings. Right, I'm going to go, so I'm going to yawn again. See you later. What's Lillian? Do you want to be cuddled? Lillian, do you want to be cuddled? Lily, do you want to be cuddled? Or would you rather have a treat? Do you want a treat? Or cuddle? I don't care. I'm now going to go and get Doug off the road. He's safe. I can see him and he's under a car, which is parked up on the curb, so he's fine. But I'm going to go and get him. So I'm just starting to train him into life in the house again, getting him ready for the colder months, and I think he's enjoying it. You'll cuddle with Doug, won't you? I'll put a picture in here of what she did the other night when I was cuddling him. She got right on top of him, didn't you? Right, I'm going to go get... I need a wee first. I've just had a lovely cup of tea. I had some Marmite on toast for my dinner or lunch. What are you doing, you silly old thing? Look, watch this. Come on, come on. Sit. That's it. Yeah, I had some Marmite on toast for my lunch. I don't say lunch, dinner. And a lovely cup of tea, because I always like tea with toast. Oh, here comes Meg. Oh dear. Start again. Good boy. Oh. I'm cooking a roast dinner. I'm not very happy with the way my potatoes have turned out. I've done them how I normally do. I gave them a poke and they seemed like they were ready. But they haven't gone fluffy. Never mind, Ian's sat here watching, and I've decided to make an apple crumble as well. This is the apron that James got me for our anniversary. I picked it. I've been making some baskets today, and then this afternoon I did some teddy bear making. I haven't got anything quite ready to show you yet though. Quite hot. I'm going to get on. I'll see you in a little while. I've just made my crumble and I'm just going to stir in some oats, which I always put in my crumble. I just wanted to show you a new secret ingredient that I discovered completely accidentally the other day. Ready break. Honestly, it's all it is just ground up porridge oats. If you put some of this, and it doesn't really matter how much, obviously not too much, in your crumble before you put it on top of the fruit, oh, it just transforms it into something else. Everybody, put ready break in your crumble. You won't regret it. Central heating for kids. Do you remember that advert? I still feel warm every time I think about it. That man, you know, that glowing man. Oh, this is not sponsored by Ready Breck. I don't know if I finished telling the story. So the Ready Breck thing came by because one day I didn't have any oats, and I thought, well, I want oats. Well, I thought, well, I'll just put a bit of Ready Breck in, and it makes the best crumble. Johnny wanted a crumble for his birthday instead of a cake, and I made him a crumble with the Ready Breck in, and since then I've put it in every time. Don't knock it till you try it, everybody. It's brilliant. Right, I'm gonna, oh, I think James is home. I'm just about to make a cup of tea and settle down for the evening. Well, no, I'm not. I'm making a cup of coffee. Ooh. And I just thought, I haven't filmed very much today, so I just thought I'd show you the books I've read this year. Now, I'm not going to tell you very much about them. I'm just going to tell you whether I liked them or not. Because I don't like to know too much about a book before I read it. I especially don't like to know if there's a twist in it, because the whole point of a twist is that you don't know about it. I know sometimes on the front of a book it will say, ooh, twists, that's okay, but I don't like it when, like, someone has read a book and they say, ooh, there was a twist, and I wasn't expecting that, because then I'm waiting for it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to show you what I've read, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm just going to say whether I liked the book or not. I think I have liked most of them, actually looking at them. But when I've read a book, I put it behind my door. I know that sounds silly, and because I like to see how many I've read throughout the year. And you might have noticed that when I say I'm reading a book, I don't tell you what it is. Because I've had people, again, and this is just me, I'm a bit funny about this sort of stuff, books. I really don't like to know anything. I've had people say before, when I have shown the books I've been reading, say, oh yeah, keep going, there's a really good twist. I don't want to know. I want to find out for myself. Because sometimes if you think a book is like normal and then all of a sudden it goes crazy, if you don't know, it's brilliant, isn't it? But if you do know, you think, oh, that must be what they meant. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to show you what I've read this year so far. But I should say there's a couple of books that aren't in the pile that I've read that I got from the library that I've now returned. Right. Here we are behind the door. These are just books I've read, obviously not what I've listened to. So the first one I read was this one, One Day in December. I started that in December and finished it in January. I found it very slow going. I didn't really enjoy it. The 12 Secrets, yeah, that was okay. I liked that one. That was all right. The School for Good Mothers, I hated it. I didn't finish it. I read a few chapters and left it. The Match, yeah, it was all right. Not too bad. The Family Upstairs, oh, I loved it. Loved it. Really, really good. And I listened to the next one along, but I wish that I'd have read it. Daisy Jones and the Six, and can I tell you the reason why I listened to it? It was because I wanted to know the next bit, but the hardback was available, not the paperback at that time, so I think, and I was impatient. Daisy Jones and the Six, yeah, it was all right. There's a big hype about it, isn't there? But I don't know. I've watched a bit of it on Prime as well. It's all right. Mrs. England, I loved it. and I love The Foundling as well. Stacey Hall's, oh yeah, she's only written 3 books. I've got the third, well actually I've read them in reverse order. So that was the second one, that's the third one, and then I've got one upstairs called The Familiars. And Lizzie is in charge of picking my next book, and she hasn't picked that one yet, so that'll be along soon. The House We Grew Up In, oh, I loved it. This was given to me in a bag of books from my neighbour's mum actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. The Girls Who Disappeared, that was a page turner. It didn't take me very long to read it, but, well, it was all right. The French House, I absolutely loved it. It wasn't, I tell you what I said to Lizzie and James, hang on a moment. I said, the front, I know this is going to sound silly, but the front cover doesn't do it any favours. It's not what you think it's going to be from the cover. Oh, can you hear the dog? She's had a shave and she's got an itchy back. Yeah, so I absolutely love this book. I've got fond memories of reading it in the garden. Right, I'm just going to assemble my pile again and we'll continue. Where were we? Take Your Breath Away, was that alright? I think it was okay. I don't have like fond memories of it like I do this one, this one, this one, this one and this one, but it was okay. The Woman Who, oh, I didn't really enjoy that one. It was alright. I picked it up for I think £4 out of Sainsbury's. This one I found in my pile of books. I completely forgot I had it and I loved it, and even though it's the biggest one, I read it quicker than all of them. I read it in a few days. I just couldn't put it down. It was brilliant. And I've read lots and lots of Kate Morton's books. She's one of my favourites. Yeah, Carrie Soto is back. I enjoyed this one. I read it on holiday when I was in the caravan. Yes, I enjoyed it. Little Wing. Yeah, that was all right. And A Terrible Kindness. This is the one that I dropped in the mop bucket. That was okay as well, but not anything groundbreaking. It was all right. And I'll tell you what, it was a nice story, but I loved this one. That's my favourite out of all of them. Oh, is it though? Because I like that one. And these two. I loved Mrs. England. And I love that one as well. But yeah, I don't know if that's interesting to you or not. But yeah, they're the ones I've read this year. Now from the library, I've read Young Mungo, which is about 2 boys growing up in a secret relationship in Scotland, sort of like a Romeo and Juliet. Are they in Scotland? Or are they in Ireland? I can't remember. But that was quite good. Sad, but good. I can't remember the other one I've had from the library. I've had another one. Right, I'm going to stop this now. That was probably really boring, wasn't it? Was it boring? Not as boring as that. Oh, My Policeman. So I read this one last year. Oh, I loved it. And I've watched the what's it called? The thing on Prime. I loved it. And this book here, this little book here called Lily, that's one of my favourite books that I've ever read. I read that one last year. Oh, it's so good. It's about a foundling. I can tell you that. That is such a good book. I'd quite like to reread that actually. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go. Now, we haven't had a chance to do our questions yet because I haven't had a chance to write down, to go through, oh, battery saver, to go through all the comments and write all the questions down. So I think we're going to have to do that on Tuesday because we've got a bit of a hectic weekend. Well, I haven't personally, but James has. So we'll have to do that on Tuesday. Right, James and Lizzie have just gone up the shop, so I'm going to make a drink and I'm going to read my current book that I'm reading. I try to do one a week, but if they're boring, I can't do it. And then I try to do, well, I'll tell you what, I find it a lot easier to read in the summer than I do in the winter, because I like reading outside in the garden. Anyway, that's enough about this. I'll see you tomorrow. What we've got on tomorrow? Not a lot, but I hope to have put a few bits and bobs together tomorrow, like sewing stuff. So maybe I'll show you a bit of that. What is that book? Oh, that's Meg's library book. Right, I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.